So around 3 months ago, I posted this video to my channel, and I told you guys that I got accepted into one of the FAANG 5 companies. And part of the reason why I didn't make this video right off the bat was because I was still deciding what company I wanted to intern with this upcoming summer. And luckily I had some options to choose from. But at the end, I decided to go with the company that I interviewed and got accepted in that video. So in this video, I'm going to try to walk you guys through my internship journey and some of my own tips and things I did that I believe made me stand out from other candidates. Also, due to privacy reasons, I won't be disclosing which of the FAANG 5 companies I'm involved in, but I still hope you guys find this video to be helpful. So first, I'll be very transparent with you guys and tell you guys what my job is at the company and how much I'm getting paid for both internships and possibly a full-time job after my graduation. My job at the company is a managerial level job. More specifically, I'm part of the operations management team, and as an intern on an annualized base, I'll be earning mid to high 5-figure range. And once I'm done with my internship and hopefully become a full-time employee, I'll be making high 5 figures plus the sign-on bonus. As you guys can see, my salary isn't anything crazy, which makes sense because I'm just starting off my career, but it's definitely an amount that I'm happy with. Also, these FAANG 5 companies have great benefit programs such as bonuses and health benefits. So I think overall, this is a very good spot to be in if you're just starting off your career. Now, in terms of my education, I am a third-year Rotman Commerce student, which is the undergraduate business program at the University of Toronto, specializing in management, focus in finance and marketing, and minoring in economics. And it would be a lie if my education didn't play a huge role in terms of me actually landing this job. University of Toronto is statistically the best university in Canada, and to companies, that is a big thing they look into. Like, these companies get tens of thousands of people applying to certain positions, and frankly, they don't have time to look into every single applicant. And one of the easiest ways for companies to evaluate whether a person is suited for a certain job is to look into their educational backgrounds, such as their school, their GPAs, their scholarships. So your education background will definitely matter in terms of getting these jobs. However, that does not mean a person with not so competitive educational backgrounds can't land this job. But because every single candidate that you'll be going against in these interviews are students from great universities with great GPAs, it kind of becomes like a prerequisite for you to have a good educational background in these interviews. So moving on to the actual selection process and interview stages. At least for me, I went through 4 different stages. I first obviously had to send my resume and take like their general test. I think there was 2 of them. One was more like analytical thinking, and the other test was more on critical thinking. So for the analytical test, I had to solve a lot of like math equations and solve like statistics and whatnot. While for critical thinking, you kind of have to like think about certain cases on the things that might happen at your workforce. So yeah, those are the first 2 stages, sending in your resume and them getting back to you and you doing the test. Also at this stage, I think some of the FAANG 5 companies send you like a personality test of some sort to see if you are suited for their culture. I personally didn't get one, but I know that some of my friends who are in other FAANG 5 companies have experience with this MBTI test kind of thing. So if you get one of those in your selection process, don't be surprised. And finally, you move on to the actual interview section, which is the 3rd and the 4th stage. So for me, I think I talked to in total of 3-4 managers, 2 for each stages. Although these 2 stages are all interview stages, the level of questions they ask you for 3rd and 4th stages are very different. At least for me, the 3rd interview was more on my background, my educational background, some of the things I do as extracurricular, or my personal journey as a student. While on the 4th stage, they ask more questions related to the actual job. So this can include some case questions or questions including math problems that you'll use at your work. Like, these questions are more designed to see how fast you can react to certain situations rather than your ability at your work, because those abilities were already checked in prior stages, such as the test stage or the third stage where they asked you about your personal development as a student. So yeah, the 4 stages to really weed out the last bit of people who are able to perform under pressure and give the best answer to whoever is interviewing you. So yeah, that's like a interview process in a nutshell. For me, this entire process took me around 2 months to complete, and looking back now, I think it was definitely one of the best interview experience I had. Sometimes you interview for a company and they don't even send you like a rejection letter or something, so they just leave you hanging. But the whole interview process was very smooth. It really did live up to the standards of the FAANG 5 company. So I would definitely recommend anyone who's watching this video to at least give it a try in these interview process, because the level of questions they ask you or some of the curveballs they throw at you will ultimately make you a better candidate in the future than those who haven't tried. So yeah, literally go on LinkedIn and search for job offers and go through as many interview process as you can, because no matter what the outcome is, you'll still grow from that experience. Now, in terms of work experience, I did not have the most fancy work experience. I just really try to talk about some of the impacts that I was able to make in my previous work experience, rather than just saying, oh, I worked for X company for X amount of years. I try to say, oh, when I was working for this company for X amount of years, I increased their blah 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 for X amount of times or something. Try to be specific when it comes down to your accomplishments and your work experiences. Like, companies don't care if you work for 10 different companies. What they want to see is what you were able to do in those 10 different companies. So yeah, make sure to be really specific when you are talking about your past experiences. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the most important aspect about this entire selection process. So if you guys didn't learn anything from this video, make sure to just remember this. Every single candidate for going through the FAANG 5 interview process are highly intellectual and hardworking people. So even if you don't get the result that you wanted, don't be discouraged, because your rejection letter does not define your ability to do those kind of jobs, but I think it defines whether or not you're compatible with that company or not. So don't be discouraged when you get those rejection letters, but apply to others. Don't cap your potential by just giving up. So yeah, that's the last message that I want to leave you guys with. I hope this video was able to help some of you guys out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm sick of daydreaming, I just want the feeling of you in my bed. I'm down to just waste time right below your waistline. Want you by my head.